Right. So today we'll start discussing our next selection type, which is nested if. Right. So nested if, sometimes they will call it as multiple if or if inside if. There will be some several variations. But today we will discuss about the nested if. Right. I will give you a sample flow chart, and then I will convert that flow chart into Scratch program. Right. Draw this flow chart. Selection. Type B, which is nested if. Right. So I will give you a flow chart. Start. Input price. If price greater than 20,000, yes. Okay, output. Display type A. Display type A. No. I will have a selection again. If price greater than 12,000, display type B. No. If price greater than 5,000, yes. Display type C. No. Display type D. here just combine these things and then stop, right? So you are going to connect this symbol and this one, and finally you will have a stop, right? After this one and this one, right? This is your flow chart. First, I will explain this one. Then I will convert this flow chart into this Scratch program. Right? Input C. You are going to provide the price of an item. We don't know what is the price. It might be 5 rupees or 50,000 or 5 lakhs. Doesn't matter. Initially, there's a condition checked. If price is greater than 20,000. For an example, if the price is 50,000, 50,000 greater than 20,000, that will be yes. So it will display type A. So type A is the output when this condition is satisfied. Which one? This one. When this condition is satisfied, display type B. Right? Example 35,000. So 35,000 greater than 20,000, true, display type A. So in this way, it will work. Right? This is first one. I will mark as 1. Second data, my value is 11,500. Price is 11,500. 11,500 greater than 20,000? No. 11,500 greater than 12,000? No. 11,500 greater than 5,000? Yes. Display type C. So this one will be your second data's output. My third data is 13,000. Input price 13,000. 13,000 greater than 20,000, which is false. 13,000 greater than 12,000, which is yes. Display type B. So for the data 3, this is your output. Right? Fourth one. My data is 550. Input price, you are providing the value as 550. 550 greater than 20,000, which is false. 550 greater than 12,000, that is also false. 550 greater than 5,000, that is also false. Display type D. So this is your fourth data's output. Right? So when you consider this flow chart, we are checking n number of conditions. As I said early in our class, when you are having n number of conditions, you can expect n plus 1 output types, not outputs, output types. There will be, here there are 3 conditions. So n will be 3. So 3 plus 1, 4 output options available, not outputs, output options available. Type A is 1 output option. Second output option is type B. Third output option is type C. And the final output option is type D. So in this case, at a time, or for a single data, there will be only 1 output. If the value is 35,000, display type A. This one only the output. But we will have n plus 1 output options. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 because 1, 2, 3 conditions. So 3 plus 1, 4, right? That is your explanation. So sometimes in your term examination, they will give you a flow chart for a simple selection or nested if, sometimes sequence, sometimes iteration, whatever. In your second part or first part, in all levels, second part, there will be a second part question. In first part, they will provide you a single flow chart and ask the questions based on that flow chart. Commonly, there will be 4 questions, minimum 3. So 3 marks or 4 marks will be arise in a single flowchart questions. So hereafter, in grade 9, we will learn about this flowchart in grade 11, not in grade 10. Grade 10, there's no any flowchart questions, right? Grade 11, chapter 1, right? So this is very important chapter. You have to just go through with it, this one in grade 9, but we will study deeply in grade 11. Here we are having a brief introduction for this flowchart and programming, right? So this is the output generation. I explained with an example. Now I will convert this flowchart into Scratch program. As I said earlier, initially I have to identify the major components: variable, input, condition, process, output. Right? So these are the major components we have to identify. So in this question, I will initially write the variable. The variable, that is price. There's only one variable, price. So variable section done. Second one, input. Input also price. As we studied earlier, in Scratch program, inputs are denoted by sensing tool group, right? So I will write sensing. Sensing. By using sensing, I will provide the price to the flowchart or the program. Here I am going to check the conditions. So next one, after variable identification, I will do the input identification. After input, when you are looking forward to this question, there is a comparison operator and the condition. But it's a selection. So you have to write selection. But the selection part we have to consider. But inside that one, we are having a comparison operator greater than. So we need operators. Which operator? Greater than operator. 1, 2, 3. Like 3 greater than operators. Then there's no any process here. Nothing. But so process. No any process. But there are 4 output options available. So I will write outputs. So in the outputs, there are 4 output options. Display type A, display type B, display type C, display type D. So the output will be denoted by looks in Scratch. Right? So variable identification done. That is the first one. Second one, input identification, that is done. Then third one, selection. It's a selection we already identified. We need the operators greater than operator. There's no any process. Output. There are 4 output options available. Type A, type B, type C, and type D. Right? So that is the simplification of our flowchart for the process of converting the flowchart into Scratch program. Right? Now I will convert this identified components into Scratch program in order to achieve this task. Which task? When I provide the price as an input, it has to display whether it is type A or type B or type C or type D. Right? First, draw this flowchart, write the sample data and mark it as 1, 3, 2, 4. Then write the variables, input, selection, operators, process, outputs, etc. Right? Write these entire things now. Right? Remember that below this point, you will have stop command. Right? There's no space, it is hidden. So below that, draw a stop for the command one. Type B, type C, B, A. Commonly, you have to put stop command. Right? So stop symbol, draw that stop symbol, flowchart, sample input data and expected output, variable, input, selection, operators, process, outputs. Write each and everything on the whiteboard, copy it in your exercise book. Right? Now we will convert this flowchart into the Scratch program. Initially, as I said earlier, we have already identified the variable, which is price, right? So in our events section, as usual, I will select when flag clicked 1. I will zoom little bit, then you can see the symbols clearly. After when flag is clicked, you drag down this command. We have to define the variable. So go to variable and click on make a variable. In this case, type price. Okay. Then there's a set command. Just drag and drop here. Change the variable price. Here set price to 0 means we created the memory space in random access memory for the variable price, and currently the variable is empty. That is the meaning of 0, right? So price to 0 means currently it is empty but ready to store the data, right? Now next one, we are going to input the price, right? So input price, go to sensing group. Here, ask command, drag and drop. Ask, I will say input, it's a message, right? Input price. I will give a exclamation mark also. But when this command was displayed, which means the input price message was displayed, user will enter the price, right? So user entering price, it's an input, right? So when user provide the price, that price must be assigned to the variable price. The user input price must be assigned to the variable price. So I will go to variable again and drag set 1. Change it to price. Here it is not 0. Why? User is going to provide the marks. Sorry, price. Right? So user is going to provide the price, not marks, right? Price. So go to sensing. When there's an ask happening, for that ask one, user will provide the value, the price. That will be in the answer. So drag and drop the answer on 0 space. So now the user input price will be assigned to the variable price, which means currently price is having a certain value, right? Price variable is having the certain value. Now I am going to do the selection, right? So go to control part. Here select the if then else part. Why? We are having yes part and no part also, right? So I will drag this one. Initially I will write the condition. Which condition? If price more than 20,000, right? So in this space I have to provide the condition. As I said earlier, we have identified the operators. The operator is greater than symbol. So go to operators and drag and drop this greater than symbol here. In this case, the first space will have the variable price for the comparison. So go to variable, drag and drop price. But we have to compare whether it is greater than which one? 20,000. So I will type 20,000 here. If that is true, which means yes, if that is true, I will display type A. As I said earlier, the display command will be in the looks tool. So go to looks and drag and drop say. Say what? Type A. Right? So type A. But here, this one is not a simple selection. But if it is a simple selection, there will be one specific condition. If the condition is true, there will be certain process or output. If the condition is false, there will be another process or output. But here,
That is not. Here, if the condition is true, I will have a display command. So I give or I provide say type A. But when it is no, there's no any specific process or output. But when it is yes, there's an output type A. But when it is false, there's no any specific process or output. Instead of specific process or output, we are going to check another condition. So if then another